Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Good morning, at least morning here in San Diego, Sunday. Probably still morning in other places, so about 11:23 in Eastern Standard Time. I want to talk a little bit about this series called Seeds that I've been wanting to do, and the reason why it's been very difficult for me to nail down exactly how I'm going to approach it. And first of all, my videos are very straightforward. They're mostly like podcasts. You don't even have to look at my face, but hi, here I am. What I like to say about this is that seeds, the essence of the idea of seeds, is the book of Genesis, and in Hebrew it's Bereshis. Bereshit is the first word. It means in the beginning of the Old Testament Bible, that Moses wrote. And in the beginning, Bereshit, God created the heavens and the earth. Now we notice, if you're Kabbalic, if you study the Kabbalah, they take apart every single word in the Bible, not just like it's axiomatic, but as if it has some sort of deeper meaning. And in some cases, I believe it does. Here's the biggest question in the world. In the beginning. How is it the biggest question in the world? Because every religion and every atheist has to come back to the question, what happened in the beginning? The religious person has to believe in a God. Therefore, in the beginning, there must have been a God that created everything. The evolutionist believes that, well, whatever happened it's so far back in the future, it couldn't have been a God that created it. And it all came about by chance over billions of years. So the biggest question there is to mankind is this: is there a God or is there not a God? The implications of this question go, some people aren't even thinking, they're just living their lives and they're not even thinking whether there's a God or not. They're just trying to make ends meet. But the big question that shapes points of view in the world has to do with your view on what happened in the beginning and how that affects everything. You see, if a God created everything in the beginning, then there's something to worship or something that gives you an answer for why you're here. And if God didn't create anything at all, then the question is, then if there is no God, then what are we becoming? We're on Earth and we are striving towards becoming super races, gods ourselves. Man is the only thing, or the evolution of some kingdom, the human race, if you will, racing, like a race, to become better, or to compete with one another. Anyway, this first word in the Bible, Bereshis, is a very important stepping stone into the next concept, in the beginning. In the beginning started with a seed, if you will, because if you notice, people are still here after thousands, and according to the atheists, billions of years. So there's plant kingdoms and animal kingdoms that reproduced themselves, so there was a seed, and where that seed is leading is the big question. What Genesis is trying to say is Genesis means the beginning, but it's where we get genetics, and where we get, the gene code, the Geni code. So the genetic code has been mapped by man, and for the reason of man splicing and picking out and becoming like God. Now the interesting thing is that in the first 3 chapters of Genesis, particularly chapter 3, we have a fruit that was eaten. It was the knowledge of good and evil. It was perfectionism. It was legalism. And that fruit was eaten of by Adam, supposedly. Of course, this happened 5,000 to 6,000 years ago, supposedly according to Bible scholars. But according to evolutionists, it wasn't man. Man evoluted from an ape, which is why every scientist out there that belongs to the science community, I just dress them up like Lancelot Link, Sacred Chimp. Just put a picture of a monkey up there and put a pair of glasses on, and there you got Sigmund Freud. or Darwin, or any of these people. Just put an ape. But we evoluted from an amino acid that went together in some primordial soup. So all species are connected because all species have a gene code. So therefore, Genesis happened in that primordial soup. So you see, the whole idea of seeds comes from the idea two different seeds. In the Bible, supposedly, it was said to Adam and Eve and to the serpent that there will be enmity between the seed of the man, or the seed of the woman, and the seed of the serpent. Now, the seed of the serpent was the fruit, because the serpent gave the fruit, basically made Eve and Adam eat of the fruit. So the seed comes from this one fruit, according to the scriptures, the fruit that comes from man, or even Satan ate of that fruit. And this is the genetic enmity that's put between the seed of the serpent, which is the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, ladies and gentlemen, and the fruit of the woman, which represents what was the genesis of life, and so now we have the seed of the woman, but there is going to come out of the seed of the woman a Messiah that's going to step. This serpent will strike the heel of this one that comes out of the woman. Now this is looking at, in the Jews' mind, the Messiah, and in the Christian's mind, Christ. And Christ being the one that crushed Satan on the cross. I mean, Satan struck his heel on the cross, and then being exalted, because we're at the foot of the world, not in the kingdom of heaven. So down on this planet, at the foot, Messiah was stricken. But now he's exalted, and he's putting his foot from heaven on Satan's head, according to Christianity. But so now there's enmity between this seed and that seed. But it goes deeper than that, because you see, one seed is man becoming the other seed and getting better, and religion is part of this. Religion and atheism belong together in the same category, the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, because religion can never get you to heaven. And if you don't believe there's a God at all, well then it's a moot point. So the question here is, well, what happened on the cross? Well, according to all the scriptures, God sacrificed his son for the sins, supposedly of the world, but it meant the message of all who believe. And this is the seed that is counterintuitive to the other seed. And so there's a parallel between, if I did seeds just according to the Bible, then I would be doing a disservice, because seeds has to do with today and the modern day idea, which is actually an ancient idea, of eugenics. The seed of man is man always exalting himself, whether he be a religious leader like the Ayatollah Khomeini, okay, for religious reasons. He's worshipped. The Pope, who we kiss his ring, right? You bow down where that wasn't supposed to be. You're supposed to worship the one in heaven. The Ming Dynasty, some of these tyrants from Asia, Ho Chi Minh, Stalin, Hitler, all these people were men that were Pharaoh. They were all to be looked at as God on earth, and they oppressed the people. And in the name of religion, or in the name of atheism, or in the name of whatever it was still this same seed. And this is where the whole thing, the juggernaut here of trying to put seeds in one little capsule, because it's bigger than that. Take care. God bless.